Thank you for your coming, and this is really my honor to be the moderator of this section. And I prepare a lot of hard questions that I hope that my two panelists will answer and give us some insight of how AI may help the drugs discovery. And first of all, we have Dr. Wang Shuhao 博士, and who is the co-founder of XtalPi, the Jingtai 科技. And we also have the Dr. Tang, Tang Qiusong 博士, who is the head of Roche Accelerator. So may I invite our guest, maybe Dr. Wang first, to briefly introduce himself and his company.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for thanks. I'm the founder of XtalPi. Yeah, my background is quantum physics from MIT. Yeah. Now I'm the founder of XtalPi. XtalPi is a company focused on using artificial intelligence robots to accelerate the drug discovery and development. Yeah, this is the basic still information of the company. Yeah.
May I ask Dr. Tang if he can introduce himself, please?
Yeah. So thanks, Liu. I'm Qiusong. I'm heading Roche Accelerator, which is Roche's first in-house accelerator globally, and we are part of the R&D organization based in China. So our focus is to scout and incubate next generation disruptive innovations in the region, including biology, technology, and AI and machine learning. That's why I think we are honored to be able to partner with quite a number of AI drug discovery startups in our portfolio, and we got a chance to work with them in several our drug discovery initiatives. A bit about myself. I'm not a AI or computation physicist by training. I'm actually trained as a neuroscientist, but computational neuroscience, interestingly. And then later on, after my academia work, I have worked in other industries in Europe and Asia before joining Roche. Yeah.
Thank you. So today our topic is how AI can power the drugs discovery. So may I ask Dr. Wang first about, so the field of AI in drugs discovery is constantly evolving and involve a lot of innovations. So can you share some of our most exciting development that you encountered recently, perhaps some breakthrough in AI drugs target identification or some of the molecular design? May I know some of your experience?
Okay. So XtalPi was founded in MIT campus since I think 8 or 10 years ago, 10年了。所以在这个过程中，首先我看到，几乎我们现在排名前20的 Big Pharma，有16家都是我们的这个合作的这个客户啊。基本上每一家这些大的客户都在说我们必须要用 AI。最近的像 Pfizer 的 CEO， 因为 Pfizer 是我们0到1的客户啊，包括我们有10年的战略合作协议。他的 CEO 来中国访问的时候，就是说。我们的可能很多药物研发的环节里面都需要 AI， 都需要新的这些先进的技术能够加速啊。但一些比较成功的例子，我通常讲的比较多的，比如 Big Pharma 这边，包括我们跟 Deloitte 就是新冠小分子里面最重要的这款药物，这个合作我们至少加速这款药提前3到6个月上市。这个药创了一个小分子研发上市的一个记录，大概18个月就上市了。它确实对于这种全球传染病危机这种药物，它要求你在每一个环节，你都要用最前沿的技术。其实药物研发非常复杂的过程，我们都知道啊，到底什么叫关键环节？其实哪怕你一个，当时我们觉得是一个小分子药物，你找到一个晶体的环节，如果你一个小分子你没有找到一个合适的 crystal 去做一个承载，它都没法去设计 dosage。我们内部也知道有些。很重要的药物在一些 big pharma 里面，因为找不到一个好的 crystal form， 它可能停在那2年3年。所以这里面我只是举个例子啊，当时我们就是在这种关键环节能够帮助它这个药物能够非常重要的一个这个新冠的小分子药物，通过3个月的时间，我就通过 AI 能够预测它最稳定、溶解度最好的晶体是什么。他就用这个可以设计它的 dosage， 可以做临床，它才可以18个月上市。但它的药是卖了10.8个 billion 的这个药，可见说这个 AI 在这里面，其实在一些你看起来可能不经意的一些环节，但是发挥一个重要的作用啊。这是一个例子吧啊。但其实金泰另外一个特点就是我们帮助很多初创公司在设计非常多的这个新的这些分子。 我们最少有4到5个企业，今年的它的这个药物分子都是1年半左右的时间吧，就马上都要到美国这边去申报 IND，这里面我们都可以看到，相对于传统的过去的研发方式，人工智能可以在早期药物发现，从靶点的发现，从到这个新的分子的推荐，甚至到整体分子性质的评估，都可以发挥非常重要的作用，把时间可以大大的缩短。
Thank you for sharing. And about Dr. Tang, if I may ask you a question, I know that the Roche Accelerator is helping a lot of a lot of startup company to help them to develop their capability. So if I may ask you, have you witnessed any successful cases that AI has demonstrated accelerated drugs discovery, or if you can share with us some of the example?
Of course, yeah. Maybe I can give 2 examples about the work we have done with our accelerator portfolio companies. So the first one is actually the company was initially incubated by XtalPi. Yeah, so the company is called Metis. So Metis Therapeutics is founded by Chris. I think I was just talking with Dr. Wen. The company pivoted into the area of using AI to develop innovative drug delivery systems and formulations. So, which was a very unique and niche area. So, I think during our own R&D process, there was one project where our small molecule had a lot of challenges in terms of optimizing their cell permeability and solubility in order to be able to send the molecule into the clinic. So this was really a critical moment where our in-house efforts was not able to solve the challenges and optimize the molecules with the desired formulation and physiochemical properties. So we actually had a chat with Chris and the team. So Metis took the mission and they were able to use their AI and their screening platform to find the novel combinations of excipients as well as the formulation composition in order to identify what are the best molecule structures as well as the combinations with excipients in order to make it pass our initial criteria to send the molecule into the clinic. So that was a quite, in a way, a proof of concept, saying that how AI could actually help us address some of the issues in our drug development. Now, the second example, which is also another our portfolio company, which is working on instead of small molecules, but actually on large molecules or antibodies. So the company is called Qiusong. So this company is a company founded by a professor, came back from the States, and the company is founded by, is invested by Shuhao, who is actually the co-host of today's conference. So we wanted to use their AI capabilities to design antibodies or design antibody sequence that could actually allow us to target a particular protein with lots of different isoforms. We want to make sure that this antibody is only specifically targeting one isoform, but not to the other isoforms with with a very large specificity. And because these isoforms, they look all very similar, so previously this was considered a mission impossible. So with their algorithms and their large computing power, Qiusong was able to help us design the antibody that meet our standards in terms of the differential binding specificity towards one isoform towards the other. And we believe this is also one of the major challenges that many pharmaceuticals are facing. In order to, once you have a target in place, you always want to find a molecule that is safe enough, but also efficacious and specific enough. I think these are 2 good examples we see from small molecules and large molecules.
It seems that AI is helping to find a particular molecule that can help when you're doing this drugs discovery. So may I ask Dr. Wang, So we know that XtalPi is using AI and robotics to revolutionize the drugs discovery. So there must be some pain point in the traditional drugs discovery process that I believe you will encounter and you find that AI is helping. Then can you share with us is how AI is helping your own company to do this drugs discovery, and what kind of AI tools that you would recommend the audience to use so that it can help to accelerate these processes?
是，刚才我也提到啊，是药物研发呢，它是一个非常长期和复杂的一个过程。做这款药物来，过去需要5年、10年啊。我们觉得，特别是在药物早期发现，现在挑战越来越大，因为就是容易做的药都是做差不多了。但药物早期发现里面呢，有几个点，我是觉得特别关键的呀。第一呢，就是有关靶点这一块啊，靶点这一块呢，是一个源头。但它也很复杂，不简单是一个生物性学的问题，包括临床医生最早的从临床的角度，再到后面深刻的理解 biology， 然后最终理解之后，总会归结到人的某个蛋白的问题啊。那这个时候就是我们有一个举个例子，我们有一个欧美大的一个客户，他那个靶点就非常的复杂。那我们基于现在我们自己内部有一个 XtalFold，我们可能都是跟最前沿的像 AlphaFold 3呀这种。蛋白预测的这种，就通过人工智能预测蛋白结构，结合我们的冷冻电镜。过去它可能在这里面已经卡了3年都走不出来。我们通过我们的 XtalFold 加上我们的冷冻电镜，再加上甚至这种长程动力学的这个模拟，把这个蛋白这个靶点就搞得很清楚，把他们3年没解决的问题，我们可能3到6个月就能够解决。就像做药，就像是配钥匙，你的钥匙孔要是搞不清楚、搞不精细的话。而且这个钥匙孔它还是动态的，它不是一个静态的蛋白，所有的这个原子电子都在动啊。这个人工智能最近不管是 AlphaFold 3的突破，还有刚才我提到的这一些，我们自己内部的算法、物理算法的结合，使得对早期的这个靶点的发现非常关键。我也知道罗氏也是我们的合作的客户，我从跟罗氏的这些顶级科学家的交流，就罗氏内部就提出3个非常重要的，一个就是人工智能，第二个呢。是这个机器人合成，然后第3个呢就是器官类器官芯片这几个都是早期药物发现里面能解决这种bottleneck 的问题。第二个你刚才也提到机器人，为什么提机器人？就是其实你人工智能想再多的分子，如果你合成不出来，它也是一个 bottleneck 那就是你没法形成跟真实世界跟你的算法之间的一个反馈。那很多合成的是非常复杂的一个事情。那我们有逆合成的算法，加上机器人，它可以2小时不间断的去做这个实验，去给你去合成，并发式的试很多的这种合成的这个条件。现在我们自己金泰有大几百台这种机器人，它其实比人去做实验是更加精细的。哪怕你去摇这个药物化学反应这个力度、这个次数，包括你。抖一下，加一点点的这个0.0001微升的这个溶剂，它都会导致你的反应可重复不可重复，这都使得你人工智能想的分子到底能不能合成出来，这是另外一个 bottleneck 当然后面提到类器官芯片的问题，就是器官芯片类器官就是你在动物的一些的身上体现出来的各种效果，包括细胞的，包括酶的，但在人的真实情况下，会是这样吗？这里面需要建立这种构小关系，通过人工智能，通过器官芯片是有机会的，但逐渐肯定会把这种动物和人真实情况之间的一些差距，通过器官芯片大大的减缓。当然，未来在临床的阶段，通过 biomarker 的一些发现，通过 AI 也可以使得你临床病人的招募临床成功率包括临床的管理。都会有很多提升，这些都是我看到的药物行业里面一些非常重要的一些非常关键的环节 ，AI 人工智能在里面能够发挥非常大的作用。
So we heard that is that in the process of to do this discovery of drugs, we need to involve quite a lot of procedure and probably AI robotics. But I believe many companies that they are doing. Maybe they are pursuing similar route. So Roche Accelerator probably is helping a lot of different companies doing this. Then if Dr. Tang may share some of the your opinion about how to effectively build the ecosystem and partnership between different companies to do this kind of collaboration in drugs discovery.
Yeah, so as Dr. Wan mentioned, drug discovery is a very lengthy, risky, and highly capital and knowledge-intensive process. So throughout the journey, we want to make sure that we work with the best of the minds in different disciplines and be able to contribute to drug discovery. So I think AI is a prime example in the sense that we know this is something that has transformative potential to our entire process, not just for example, to reduce the cycle time, making our efforts faster, but also could potentially help us identify some of the targets previously considered undruggable, or be able to identify novel binding pockets or novel epitopes in the protein that could allow us to design small molecules, antibodies, as well as other modalities, such as peptides and RNA therapeutics, in order to address those. So we know that Roche is a pharmaceutical company, but we only have that many scientists, and we always joke that we are actually serious that 99% of the innovation is actually coming outside of Roche. So we definitely want to collaborate with companies, academia, as well as the entire industry. So I think that's the key. Now, in terms of the type of partnerships and the ecosystem, and I think we believe that this is really end-to-end. You don't need to wait until you have a clinical stage asset that you can actually out-license to multinational companies like Roche, or you want to, build a company until a certain stage where you believe you can actually, or companies like Roche can acquire them. So things can actually happen at very different or very early stages, and the models of collaborating with companies can be multifaceted. For example, I think Dr. Wan mentioned that our work with XtalPi, and of course I think including XtalPi, but also beyond, we have quite a number of companies who are leveraging their capabilities, for example, robotics, for example, their computing power in order to provide service to Roche. And of course, not to mention some of the traditional CROs that have been there to support our efforts throughout the stage. Now, in addition to that, I think some of the recent attempts we have made, for example, to be able to involve and support at a very early stage to work with startup companies and provide our resources, our expertise, our knowledge, our equipments and facilities to the startups. I think that is basically how the entire concept of Roche Accelerator come into place. We want to see, and we want to, because we are a little bit, sometimes we are a little bit sad that many very good opportunities, concepts, ideas, they were so innovative and novel. However, because of a certain lack of drug discovery experiences or lack of resources, some of these ideas they actually fail into translating into the clinic, and we call this loss in translation. And we want to help companies to cross this so-called the valley of death. We want to build a bridge together with our partners, including Shuhao here, to provide our necessary resources and expertise to help them, to make it even faster to prove their proof of principle, or in other words, to help them kill their projects early so that they can redeploy their resources to something else. So I think that's one example that Roche has been doing in incubating early stage innovation here, and I believe many other multinational companies are also doing this in China as well as in other parts of the world. So we believe this is a truly a necessary move in order to build a more comprehensive ecosystem, because the ecosystem cannot be just formed by by entrepreneurs, investors alone, right? We believe multinationals have a role to play, and other stakeholders and players who are also in part of the value chain should also be part of the ecosystem to support and contribute. Yeah, that's my 2 cents.
Thank you. This is very intuitive. And so looking forward, so which area, maybe I would ask this question to both of you, is which area of research and development that you think are more crucial to further advance the use of AI in drug discovery and development? Maybe we can talk, start with Dr. Wang.
从我们的观点看呢，我会觉得就像，未来的药物研发这个领域里面的基础设施就应该变成是这些非常准的算法、巨大的算力，而且我特别强调这个机器人，是因为我们发现机器人做很多的这个实验，它的标准度和精准度比人更好，它产生的都是一些最 high quality 的 data， 这 data 对于这些 AI 是非常重要的。所以我甚至会觉得 in the future, these algorithms, computation power or robots could be the fundamental infrastructure, or just like water, electricity in the industry. 所以我们构建的就是一个底层的这个基础设施，我们通过这个基础设施来解决刚才我说到的药物早期发现里面的一些关键的问题。
About Dr. Tang, your opinion?
Sure. If I may, I think I look at this from the value chain perspective, right? If you look at the drug discovery process, first is to have a clear biology, and I think how AI could actually play in this part is somewhat limited, because there are a lot of disease biology or the pathway related to the target you have to conduct lots of experiments and to test this in different animal models or even in humans before you can actually be certain that the target is a validated therapeutic target. Then moving on to the molecule design or screening and optimization phase, I think this is where we believe AI is actually a sweet spot. I think I was just chatting with Dr. Wen, because it's essentially a chemical physical problem, right? Because as far as you can look deep into the crystal structure of a certain protein, or you can use some of the physical theories, for example, the free energy, the entropy, in order to find a molecule that actually could best actually fits into the target with superior binding specificity and efficacy. And then, of course, you have a large enough therapeutic window and minimize the toxicity. This is where we believe AI could help us a lot to reduce the cycle time, make the drug discovery process a lot cheaper, and reduce the amount of wet lab experiments required in order to find the ideal hit or optimizing the lead compound. Now, once the molecule is in the clinic, I think there are lots of efforts required to conduct the clinical operations, test this across different countries in the hospital. I think AI may be able to help us, recruit the patients faster, identify the patients who might give you the best response compared to others, or tell you what are the potential patient inclusion and exclusion criteria that you may need to add into your protocol. But other than that, I think the clinical development is, again, this is a piece of art by the PIs, by the physicians, that they need to actually make sure that the patients are actually getting benefits out of the drug in the clinic. So that's where I think AI can contribute a little bit in the process, but not too much. Yeah, so that's my idea.
We heard that is that basically it's lengthy and risky and capital is very high to do all this drugs discovery. So in this case, how AI will, well, you know this, when we have this all AI, we heard a lot from Dr. Wang that it help a lot with robotics and AI, that it can shorten the drugs discovery time. But how will it change the landscape of drugs industry? That because, you know, in previous time we need to do a lot of wet lab experiments. So how will you envision in the future that will change the timeline or cost of this kind of drugs discovery, or how all these companies can compete with each other? Will they all use AI, or how will the future of this? What will be your opinion?
首先，确实在药物这个行业里面，就是比如说我们在纯说人工智能这个领域里面啊，我们只说算法就 OK。有的时候算法，我可以文本，可以视频，或者是把 Microsoft 的工具提升。在药物行业确实有很多 wet lab，你刚才提到的要做很多的实验，但这里面就是，如果我们的 AI 的算法用得好，物理的算法用得好，它可以把很多不需要进入实验的一些分子，通过算法给它 screen out。这减少了很多的这个 wet lab 里面的一些耗材的浪费，很多的这种成本的这个浪费啊，这是一个非常好的一个点啊。甚至包括我们现在也开始越来越看到，也是我们有点孵化和这个支持的公司做这种虚拟病人啊，它可以对于未来的临床管理，甚至也能够，因为 wet lab 我觉得它除了早期药物发现里面有很多实验。后面临床也是一个周期非常长，目前成本消耗非常大的一个领域，但是 AI 随着算力越来越提升，包括对数据的综合理解，对于临床的管理也会有非常多的，未来会有非常大的一些突破性的东西啊，当然这都可以大大的节省整个一个药物。一是做实验方面的时间和成本的耗费，包括一个未来这个药物上市在临床方面的一些耗费还有时间。但总之，我觉得 AI 绝对是未来一个无法就是在这药物行业的一个落地，它是一个无法逆转的一个趋势。像最近这个英伟达 NVIDIA 的老总 Jason 总说，以前的 Life Science 是一个非常 science 驱动，所以充满了 uncertainty。但现在由于算法算力的巨大突破和数据的海量的积累，它可能进入一个工程学可以突破的一个阶段，这都会大大的就是用原子做实验永远都比用比特做实验永远都比用原子做实验是更快、更节省很多成本的。只要你的算法足够准，只要你的 AI 的这个算力足够强，都可以看到它会大大的节省掉很多 wet lab 甚至临床方面的一些时间和耗费。
How about Dr. Tang?
Yeah, I will be brief. I think we believe the foundations, there are three foundations: the computing power, the algorithms, and the data, right? So you're right, and now everybody's talking about NVIDIA, and everybody's working with NVIDIA because they have as many GPUs and chips as possible that we have to rely on them. That's why I think multinational companies, startup companies, they all partner with NVIDIA in order to leverage their computing power. I think that's utmost important. Then in terms of data, I think for multinational companies, the data generated in-house will remain in-house for the time being because I think multinationals, they typically tend not to share or make their data open source. So there are a lot of data generated in-house, and this could be molecule data, there could be biology data, there could be clinical data. Now, how we as companies, our own, we could use the computing power, use the algorithms to generate insights from this data will be a task and a question that we need to answer in the time to come. Now, last but not least, I think algorithms, many startup companies are developing their own algorithms, and we have our own algorithms too. So how do we actually marry the best of two worlds and integrate and partner with the startup companies, including what I have mentioned? They have their own proprietary algorithms that can help us address the problems we were not able to do so in-house. I think that will be something I see very exciting, and it will be something I see will generate the biggest impact in the short term. Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much for our all two honorable panelists. And we all heard about that how AI can bring us a very bright futures of drugs discovery. And I'm very glad to hear this. Thank you very much.